go now to John Carter, who has a special guest.
Oh, and we are delighted to have Jennifer Aparicio with us here. She is a certified plant professional at Pike Nurseries, and we're talking about getting the gardens ready for spring, Jennifer.
That's right.
But spring has already sprung for a lot of plants out there. We're seeing a lot of buds and blooms on trees, cherry trees, peach trees, just all, and then we've got some perennials that are already coming up and starting to blossom. What are your thoughts on all this? Do we need to be doing anything?
Well, you can't fight Mother Nature.
Yeah,
I mean,
boy, that's for
you know,
sure.
When it's warm, it sends a trigger to that plant to start growing. Your flowering cherries, I've seen flowering plum trees. We can't stop that process from going forward. What you can, unfortunately, expect is with another frost that you might lose some of the beauty of some of those, spring blooms. And with the tender young leaves that might follow before the last frost, sometimes they do get scorched. We usually like to remind people that it's nothing really to worry about. Trees are pretty hardy and they do recover.
Yeah.
So not to panic on that. As far as perennials or things like that, like your peonies, things that might be coming up, and they are in the ground, a very light fabric cloth to cover them if we have another hard frost is probably the best thing to do.
All right, we'll keep it on. We'll have Al tell us about that, I know, if we're going to have our frost or whatever. But now we do need to be thinking about our grass coming up, and,
Yes.
and especially fescue. And you've got some ideas, some thoughts here on what we need to have on hand.
This is the ideal time with the cool season to plant your cool season, to either reseed or plant cool season grasses like fescue. If you have an existing lawn and you've noticed that some of the weeds are a little more prolific than they have been in the past, that is due to our warm weather.
Yes.
They can be quite a nuisance, and what we need to do is one of two things at this time.
All right.
If you're planning on reseeding, you're going to reseed and delay your weed control.
Okay.
Or some people might choose to control their weeds first because their lawn is really fairly established. If you're going to use a weed control, what we usually recommend is the Weed Beater by Bonide Complete. It is a pre- and a post-emergent weed control system. Post-emergent weeds are those that you see. Pre-emergent weeds are those weeds that will eventually come up and occupy your lawn.
Yes.
If you do apply this, we usually recommend then that you wait a little bit of time before you plant and you overseed, because our pre-emergent weed killer is non-specific. It will prevent any seed from germinating.
Really?
And so you want to wait till probably no later than mid-April to put your fescue seed down.
Okay. All right, so do this right away. You could be doing this today even, right?
Most people are most concerned about their weeds right now because they seem to be in an enormous amounts because of the weather and the rain.
The weather, that's the weather. What else? All right, what else have we got here then?
Well, let's say you need to start a new lawn. You're doing some new landscaping. So if you want to go ahead and start planting your fescue, this is the time to do it if it's a new lawn.
All right.
We generally recommend that you use about 1 inch of either topsoil or soil conditioner on top of the clay and till that in. That helps to break up the solidity of the clay and allow that seed to germinate better. We always recommend that you use a lawn starter fertilizer. This particular one is specific to enabling the seed to germinate at a better rate by giving it more nutrition.
Good.
Once that's done, then you can go ahead and move over to like a fescue. This is a tall fescue. This particular product is really nice because it is a coated seed, and the birds don't generally pester it.
They don't like that stuff. We have run out of time, Jennifer, but Pike Nurseries located where?
We are located in Ballantyne.
And so you need to head out there. You get great advice from Jennifer and all the others at Pike Nurseries. You all do a wonderful job.
We also have our new store that's open this spring also in the Matthews location, and you can get to both of those addresses through pikenursery.com.
There you go, pikenurseries.com. All right, thanks a lot, Jennifer. 11 minutes now before 9 o'clock.